Good afternoon. My name is Ellen Pogemeller, and I am one of the legislative and political organizers at OEA. Thank you so much for joining us for our second Capitol Catch-Up. We hate that we couldn't offer the Capitol Catch-Up last week, but due to the snow and ice and the tremendous amount of changes that happened at the Capitol last week due to closings, we just felt like our update would not be timely enough to post last week. So thank you for joining us for our second episode. Last week, just to catch you up on what happened last week, two big bills that we are watching, which House leadership are saying are kind of going hand in hand with each other. The first bill is House Bill 2074. This is what we are calling the transfer bill. Beginning in school year 2022-2023, a student can transfer between schools at any time, public schools at any time during the school year. The sending school no longer has a say if a student can leave, and the receiving school must accept the student unless a few things happen. One, unless they do not have capacity, or the student who is applying has had attendance issues or discipline issues. Capacity must be set at the local district level to say how many students they're able to receive, and that has to be posted on their website so the public can view that. Students will then, apply for a transfer. If there are more students applying than there are spots, there has to be a public lottery for accepting those students. And local school board must adopt all of the policies around transfers by January 1st of 2021. The other big bill that we're watching is beginning also in 2022-23, is changing the way that our state funding formula works. So currently, a school district can look at 2 previous years and then the first 9 weeks. And whatever the highest enrollment is, they can use that as their funding starting point. This would change it so that you could only look at your preceding year or the first 9 weeks of the current year. The current funding formula works well. Oklahoma consistently gets high marks nationally for equity. Schools and the students they serve need continuity from one year to the next. The current formula allows a district with declining enrollment to adapt gradually to those changes rather than making abrupt and dramatic layoffs from one year to the next with staff. And just so you understand, a word that we continue to hear is ghost students. But we are not funding students that don't exist. We are simply allowing schools with declining enrollment to adapt their staff level at a speed that doesn't dramatically impact the education of the remaining students in that district. Both of these bills were passed. The transfer bill was passed out of House Common Ed, and the funding bill was passed out of House A and B committee. Coming up this week, some bills that we're really concerned about. First is House Bill 2673. This is brought up by Representative John Eccles. This bill will allow any student attending a school that has had an F on the state report card for 3 years in a row to receive a private school voucher. And side note, the state report card mandates that at least 5% of all Oklahoma public schools are given an F grade. As usual, vouchers don't work. We believe public money should go to public schools. Private school vouchers divert funds from the already limited resources available to public schools, which limits the ability of public schools to meet the needs of their students and the broader community in which they serve. Vouchers often do not cover the full tuition, making it difficult for low-income students to actually use them. Education reform should focus on improving public schools, which educates about 90% of Oklahoma students. The other bill that we are concerned about is Senate Bill 634. This is a bill that will be heard in Senate Judiciary Committee. And what it focuses on is our professional association dues. Senate Bill 634 requires an education employee to submit and a district payroll clerk to process a written authorization for payroll deduction to a professional association every year. So that's how it would change. Current law allows an employee to payroll deduct for a myriad of reasons every year, which reoccur from one year to the next, unless an employee provides notice to the payroll clerk in the form of an email, fax, or letter. Tens of thousands of educators opt to payroll deduct their association dues. This bill will place a new and time-consuming burden on payroll clerks across the state to maintain and monitor these forms every school year. Oklahoma is a right-to-work state. Being a member of a professional association is voluntary, and educators may drop their membership at any time. Educators know this, and requiring this form is an unnecessary burden. This bill also focuses on one type of payroll deduction for one sector of public employees. So we're asking members to help us in our call to action on two bills. First, we need you to call and reach out to House Education members, either today, which is Monday, or Tuesday morning, and ask them to vote no on House Bill 2673. We would specifically love for you to contact Representative Bowles, Representative Conley, Representative Dick Lowe, Representative Randleman, Representative Tammy West, and Representative Roberts. We're also asking a call to action for Senate Bill 634. We're asking you to call the Senate Judiciary Committee members today or tomorrow to ask them to vote no. Specifically, we would love for you to reach out to Senator Lee Wright, Senator Bullard, Senator Weaver, and Senator Paxton. Again, members, thank you for your time. It's also Public School Week, so please check out OEA's website and Facebook page. We are promoting how you can talk about public schools and how you can engage on social media about the important role that public schools play in your community. Have a great week. Thanks.